have Gordon Graham, and I heard you say something.
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would
not
you,
a fan at all.
Would you suggest that we get rid of him?
And the reason
Yes.
why I'm not a fan,
Yes.
I'll tell you why. And this is no disrespect, I think he's a great attorney, I think he's a very knowledgeable attorney when it comes to school issues. However, he'll go with the majority whatever way it goes. And I've never, ever got a direct answer from Gordon Graham on a response from any legal communication.
Right. By the way, Gordon Graham and Barbara Lowe.
You wanna talk about a
I
fence
know
rider?
too.
You got one right there.
No.
So,
Well, I'm just speaking to this gentleman about the students reading the Bible and that kind of stuff. I had that personally happen to me with my son. I had that personally happen to me with my son 20 years ago when he was in first grade. It was a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher expressed to me, you know, that he shared his faith in class, and she pulled him aside and said, "You can talk about that at home or at your church, but not at school." I said, "No, no, 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 no.
That's not how it works.
That's wrong." So I just sent a copy of the Children's Bill of Rights to the teacher, CC'd the principal, never heard another word.
I have a couple of questions, actually. I am running unopposed to the school board at Merrimack Valley. I'm going to be a lone voice for the most part because I know most of the board members right now, and I am probably the only one that's conservative. So it's going to be a lone voice. The thing that really got me on to run for this was a couple of years ago at one of the school board meetings. My wife is, well, I'm walking a tightrope here because she's a teacher's aide at the school, and she's also the school board clerk. So she comes home with stories, and I'm going, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe it. Well, the thing that really pushed me over the edge was about 2 years ago when I had heard that the school wanted a batting cage. This sounds really stupid, all right? It was going to cost us $50,000. And I'm thinking, $50,000 for a batting cage. She goes, don't worry about it. It's not going to cost us anything. They've already told us that it's not going to cost the school anything. It's all going to be through donations, etc. School board meeting rolls around, and through a sleight of hand,
No, this is annual meeting.
the annual meeting, that's what I meant, annual meeting, sleight of hand, Robert's Rules of Orders, it came up and it was voted on, and the school, everyone in the school district had to pay for it. What I'm asking is there resources that I can go to, that I can learn all these little things of Robert's Rules of Orders? I think if somebody really knew what they were doing, they could have squashed it right there. But because no one really knew.
you can get a book on Robert Rules.
Oh, I know, but that's like.
We specifically don't follow Robert's rules.
Neither do
Well,
we.
They don't.
well, whatever the rules
Yeah.
of order is, I mean, they state it. There's
Ahead of
actually a
time,
separate
yeah.
one, but it's almost like reading the I don't know,
There
yes.
is an organization here in New Hampshire that deals with Robert's rules, and I can put you in touch with them.
Okay, all right, so, I know, like I said, I'm gonna be the only one banging at the moon a lot of times in this, in this thing, and unless somebody catches wind of some of the ways I voted on other things, I'll probably vote it in, and not, what my biggest fear is somebody's gonna catch wind that I ran for state legislature last time, and my stuff is way out there. I mean, not way out there, but it's on the internet.
You're unopposed.
Unopposed, but I've seen where they've had write-ins, and the write-ins have won. So, right, so,
Get your friends out.
yeah. So, if you guys want to move to Merrimack Valley, I would love to have you on the school board. I don't want to be alone.
You're going to be until you aren't.
Right.
Hey, Tim, I can tell you from myself,
Yeah.
I had no experience. I mean, if I was to add up the dollars I spent with my own personal attorney, oh my God, it's probably hundreds of thousands. I wouldn't want to look at it.
Right.
But, you know, that's how I got my education. I mean, just school
Right.
hard knocks, going there, figuring it out, learning. coming in groups like this.
Right.
Let
Well, that's
people
why-
like Bill and Rich, myself, and there's other people in the audience that can
Right.
share their experiences, email you paperwork, and, you know,
Right.
I've had instances where I've done exactly that. I've gone ahead and defunded at annual meetings, defunded things that shouldn't have been voted on.
Sure. I mean, I found out about this through Skip. You know, I
Yeah.
read the Granite Crop all the time.
But you don't know the
Contribute to it.
particulars, and so
Right.
there's some intrepidation and a
Sure,
little
there
fear right there,
absolutely
but
is.
just don't let it be. Just
Right.
move forward and you'll figure it out. And,
Yeah.
you know, and I think to some degree, they want you to have that, because they wanna run, you know, run roughshod all of you.
Right.
Don't let them do
No,
that.
I'm
Just
pretty
because you,
stubborn,
yeah, just because you don't know a particular, you know, Robert rules of order,
Right.
you know, or you don't know something, don't let that intimidate you.
No, what I was asking is, I saw how that was used to circumvent
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and they,
That really made me angry when I
and
saw
they
that.
do that, and whether it be Robert's Rule of Order, you know, whatever it is, and until you're gonna challenge a moderator, and you can overrule a moderator. If it was a group of us in the crowd and we said, hey, you know what, we didn't want this batting cage, I'll go up there, I'll make the motion, Madam Moderator, I would like to make a motion to, you know, defund that to $0, and then I get a second on the motion with all ayes, and we have it, and.
It
there
requires you
go.
though to bring 100 of your close friends.
Yeah.
to-
Well,
Right.
that was the other
Stand
thing
up.
too, is that you go to these meetings, and our district is considering SB2. As a matter of fact, we are voting on it this time.
Yay.
It's not
Okay,
perfect.
well, that
It's
answers
not
a lot
perfect.
of questions right
No,
there.
but
Because you still get the SB2 people that'll try and run the meeting too.
Because I know,
Why is that a good idea? I hear applause.
well, this is the thing, and I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on this, because I can see pros and cons on both sides.
I was one of the proponents of SB two, and I worked on
Okay, talk, I'm listening, all ears.
it. SB two has been maligned like you wouldn't believe, because people don't understand what it is. The only difference between SB two and the traditional town meeting form of government is that we separated the voting from the discussion.
Yeah.
That's all that changed. So 1 month before you vote, you have it out, duke it out at the deliberative session. After that, you have a month to talk about it and think how you're gonna vote. When you vote in secret for 12 hours or whatever.
Right.
That's the only difference. Don't let them tell you anything, that they're not gonna, municipal employees are not gonna get raises or anything. That has nothing to do with SB two.
One of the things on the SB2s, like when you're looking at pros and cons, I'm for SB2. But there are some things about it that I don't like. In particular, one of the things that I just mentioned, you have people, get 100 of your friends
Right.
to come down to the.
Do
no one
whatever
else-
they want.
Do whatever they want.
Right.
And then that's what's on your warrant articles, that's what you're voting on. And that's unfortunate, but, you know,
That happens in the regular.
But they do that
that-
regularly.
exactly,
happens.
it happens in regular, but you gotta, that's something you wanna pay attention to.
Right.
There's a huge difference between non and SB2 towns. And I personally brought SB2 town into my town of Northwood about 7 years ago. And the difference is, 100 people were making all of the decisions in Northwood. Now, 900 to 1,000 people, in the privacy of a voting booth, get to make that decision for the town. And to me, that's what it's all about, is a much larger slice of the town. Because many people, like my wife, she will not, because she works in the school system. So she's not gonna go into the deliberative session or the annual meeting and raise her hand against something at the school. So
I do.
I'm so much for SB2. It's just wonderful.
I just wanna say one more thing about the SB2 thing, because I went to our town, we have 5 towns in our school district, 5+, because there's some ancillary towns that really can't vote because they're sending their kids to our school
Tuition agreement.
on tuition, right? Part of Andover is like that. Part of Pennacook is like that. But the thing is that I would go to the meetings. This is why I stopped going to the meetings for a long time, the annual meetings, because it is stacked. The teachers, their families, and everything would be there, just like it was talked about here, and they would all vote for their own raises. And to me, I could not believe it. I work in a private industry. I can't do that. I either have to work and get paid, and do well and get my raises, or I get nothing.
Public sector versus private sector.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's reality.
so, and what I was hearing a lot of times is a very emotional thing. Somebody gets up and talks about it's for the children. And then you might as well just walk out, because why vote? Because now it's become an incredibly emotional thing. At least this way with the SB2, as I see it, is that you have a month to kind of cool off.
Exactly.
And think about what you're really gonna vote on. And no one in that audience is gonna see who raises their card. So a teacher, you know, I think, that in fact, for that batting cage, you and I were the only one that voted against it.
And you have
think
12
so,
hours
no.
to vote also.
Well, yeah, you
From
have
May
12
to
hours to
May.
vote. So I don't know, I thought it was you and I,
No.
maybe a handful of other people in an auditorium of over 600 people. And,
That's a good
but,
turnout.
what's that?
That's a good turnout.
Well, it was because there was other things that were in this at the time. The other thing that's really nice, you guys kept bringing up IB, is that our school stopped IB. I could not believe it when I heard that, because the grants ran out. And we kept
Who was granting you
telling
money
them-
for that?
What's that?
Who was granting you money for that?
I don't know.
It was through some grant writing.
It
The
was
only
some grant
reason they
writing stuff.
did IB was through the grant writing available.
Right. As soon as the grant, and people kept telling this board this, what's gonna happen? Who's
When
gonna
the
pay for
grants
this
run
when the
out.
grants run out? Oh, don't worry about it, we'll always have grants. Well, the grants ran out, they knew they were gonna get an incredible backlash.
So they.
I mean, my taxes, when I bought my house in '86, were a little under $600. Today, this last year, my taxes are over $5,000 on a 3/4 acre piece of land with a little house on it. That's over 800%. And my pay hasn't gone up 800%.
You know, quick, just interruption on grant writing.
Yeah,
One of the things you want to make sure, school board members, make sure you guys do grant writing accounting.
grant writing accounting.
Yeah, because if you don't do accounting on those grants, you can be liable for those.
More importantly, make sure they're applying for grants that you approve, so that
Right.
you're not forced as a school board to adopt practices that you don't want because you got a grant.
Okay,
Go,
that's good to know. Anyway,
right.
that's my thing, so.
So,
Crop TV.